Hey everybody, welcome to episode 24. Today I'm going to talk about my experiences at the Michigan Music Econ Summit that I recently attended. It took place at the beautiful Bamboo Building downtown Grand Rapids, and I wanted to make this really cool video where I had like shots of all the panels and the building and all this stuff, and I was so engaged with what I was doing. I really didn't take a ton of video. I was a volunteer, and so that was really cool. I had this fun little badge that I got to wear all day, and I got this cool free t-shirt for the Michigan Music Alliance. So that was really neat. I did miss the keynote speaker, John Sinkowicz, who's really big around here. If you know local spins, you're going to know his name. And so I missed his keynote speech, and I did miss one of the panels in the morning. But I thought it was worth it to volunteer my time and to be able to kind of see everybody as they're coming in and shake hands. I got to see people I knew from previous events, and I met new people and made new friends. And so that was really fun and special for me. I had a blast at this event. Last year, I got a scholarship. So this year, I really wanted to pay it forward. And that's why I decided to volunteer. But my volunteer session was only in the morning. So in the afternoon, I did get to go and attend several panels. And like I said, I was going to have like cool video of all that, but I was just so in the moment. And sometimes social media is not the most dominant thing, even though I'm trying to make some cool content for you guys. And as you notice, I'm filming from a new location so that I can go do some cool stuff like this and this. Rock on. All right, cool. So check it out. I did have a one-on-one mentor session with Jennifer Hudson Prenkert, who is the director of Sounds of the Zoo in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And she is quite visionary. She had this vision to do Sounds of the Zoo and put it together and made her vision happen. And so I thought that's a person I would like to speak with, because I have a vision too for Lord Demos, and I'm trying to make it happen. And so I really enjoyed speaking with her. It was a very candid conversation, and she gave me a lot of really great information for me. Just kind of as a, we're just kind of starting out in the band, and I do know some things, but there's a lot to learn. And so that was one of the themes of the afternoon sessions that I went to from Chris Simpson was things you don't know you need to know. And that was a really eye-opening session. He talked about content creation. He talked about how to build a fan base and all kinds of things that was really useful and informative. And we got to talk a lot and we became friends. So that was really great too. That was really the best part. Um, and so, kind of continuing in that vein, another panel that I went to was about building a music community. And this panel was just fantastic. It was awesome. There were people from all around in different positions, bookers and musicians and different things. And they were talking about what it takes to build a music community. And I really enjoyed that panel a lot. I thought that there was a lot of great insight into kind of how to work with fans, how to draw them in, and things like that. And so we'll be trying out some of the things that I learned and took away from that session. And the last session that I attended was a royalty collection session, and the band is not far enough where we have any recordings and we're needing to collect royalties or do anything like that. And I'll be honest, some of the terminology in there was a little over my head. There's still a learning curve over here for me because that's the side of the business that I don't know a lot about. So very useful for my time to go to this event, to learn from all these people in the industry, to collaborate with other people. It was so much fun. And I also got to hook up with Chelsea Whitaker again, who is a photographer. She was at the last Econ Summit and took some photos of me. And this year she took some photos of me again. And hopefully you're about to see a brief little montage of those photos that she took. And it should be starting now. Okay, hopefully you just saw some photos from the Econ Summit, and these were headshots from Chelsea Whitaker Photography. I will link her down below. So let's now talk about my 5 big takeaways from this session so that I just don't keep rambling on and on, right? So, number one, show up. You got to be part of the scene that you want to be a part of. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like if you want something to grow, you want something to be awesome, then you need to be part of that and you need to help it grow. It's not just going to happen on its own. So show up. Number two, collaboration over competition. I heard this repeatedly throughout the summit, and everybody was saying the same things. You know, let's not compete against each other. Let's work with each other, right? If there's other bands out there, yeah, they're competing for the same gigs, but why not just throw your own gigs and play with those bands, right? So I really like that idea of collaboration over competition. Number three, keep learning. As I've said repeatedly throughout this video, I have a lot to learn about content creation, about being in a band, about what it takes for all the behind the scenes stuff. It seems like the music part is kind of the easy part and the fun part, right? But there's all this other stuff that I got to learn. So I've got to keep learning. All right. Number four, I'm doing something right. People were excited to talk to me and hear about my ideas and what I had going with the band. And so I'm super excited. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep trying to collaborate and meet with people and do all these things because that seems to be the move to make. So I'm going to keep making those moves. And speaking of keep making those moves, that brings us to number 5, which is too much metal for one hand. And that's just simply keep going, right? Just don't give up. You're going to run into snags. You're going to run into things that slow your progress down. You're going to run into days where maybe you're not performing at your best or maybe you're not doing something at your best. But none of that matters because you just keep going and eventually everything is going to pay off. And I really feel like things are starting to pay off for me. We're starting to get some movement in the band. We got some videos up on YouTube. Be sure to go check those out. I think that my content here is getting better for the Benny Bell Rock Show. So everything is kind of moving along and maybe not as fast as other people, but the moment you start comparing yourself to other people, you start to rob yourself of joy. So just compare yourself to yourself. And if you've made even just a little move from one spot to the next, to the next, that's all it takes is just keep making those little moves because all the little ones are going to add up to the big ones. And you're going to see Lord Demos out on stage soon. We're making all the little moves right now so that we can make big moves later, and it's going to be awesome. So I just want to shout out everybody at the Michigan Music Alliance for hosting this event. I want to shout out everybody who attended and volunteered and participated in the Music Econ Summit because it's such an amazing event, and I'm really looking forward to next year's event. And I hope you're having an awesome day today. I hope you're having an awesome day tomorrow. Check out some Lord Demos clips here. And if you want to see some of my gear reviews from stuff that I use while playing in Lord Demos, check out here. We'll see you next time.